And Cantrell, Tommy, was making the tackle on the quarterback, goes all the way over the field and helps out on the tackle on the fullback after the pass completion. I'll get it out in a moment, but they're going to lose big-time yardage on that completed pass.
Well, they tried to run the screen to the left side of the field. They hit Emerson. Gannon tied him up and held him, and as you said, here comes Cantrell from one side and Lehue from the other to kind of hem him up and knock him to the ground for the loss. Counts will go deep, and Tressler to return for Lebanon.
Tressler back at the Lebanon 40 and counts to kick from his 12. He steps up and hits it at about the 15. And Tressler going to let it bounce, and this time it's going to take a Lebanon bounce, and it hits at the 45, bounces down to the 43, and then bounces back to the 45, and that's where Lebanon will play it from their own 45-yard line. 2:19 to go in the first half. And guys, some more points on that board would look good here before halftime.
Sure would. And Terry, on this turf, you kind of expected more of a bounce than that on the punt.
Tommy, it went backwards and then forward. It ended up being at the 45, a 30-yard punt, no return. Lebanon taking over on their own 45-yard line.
And here come the Blue Devils. Hankins is to the near side and rolling out to throw and firing and completing it at the 46-yard line to Zachary at the 46-yard line of Oakland. And they're going to give him almost to the 45. He's going to be a yard shy of the first down. A 9-yard pass completion. Pitt to Zachary.
And the no-huddle offense for Lebanon as they hustle to the line of scrimmage.
Lebanon now trying to put something else on the board, but that clock ticking away with 1:42 now remaining in the first half. Pitt going to squirt forward. He's got the first down and blast down over the 40, but flags are down, and this may be against the Blue Devils. Hold on to your horses.
Now, how do you call a holding on the quarterback sneak? I know they called it, but how do you do it?
Illegal procedure, okay. Lebanon. They're going to give us a little movement there somewhere, and so it will bring up a 2nd down 6 now rather than 2nd down 1.
Well, I feel better about that. Not much, but some. Want to remind everybody, stay tuned for halftime, and also later on in this football game, we'll be giving away a free oil change and lube job from the folks at Fast Lube.
C to the right, the only wide out. And here comes the reverse near side. Zachary's got some room. 45, 40, 35. Down over the 33 to the 32-yard line goes Kyle Zachary. And they really pulled the play on Oakland that time. Caught him asleep. And here comes Zachary on a great little sweep. And you can describe that play, Tommy, because I've heard you a bunch of times. We've run it a bunch of times this year. Timeout Lebanon with 1:20. But tell the folks just what they do on that play is they bring Zachary back around and kick out on a block, and he had some room.
Well, what they wind up doing is running him wide, and they call that a 28 sweep. They just run Zachary from the slot position. They fake everybody inside, give it to Zachary coming around on the reverse. They'll pull a guard to kick the end, and he's got a seam, and he's got an option. He can go inside off the block, or he can cut it outside. He turned it upfield, Terry, for solid yardage.
Tommy, from the 50 down to the Oakland 32, that's 18 yards in the first down. Lebanon with a first down, 1:20 left in the first half on the Oakland 32-yard line.
And here come the Blue Devils. They are at the 32, 1st and 10. The clock is the enemy now, more so than Oakland right here at halftime. Lebanon leading 6-0. Had the extra point attempt blocked by the Patriots. Pitt calls him, and Pitt is back to throw. Got some time this time. Fires, and it's almost intercepted. He was going for Reeves down at the 25-yard line, and Marcello really got a hand around there and batted that one down out of the arms of Brian Reeves.
They line Reeves up in the staggered fullback position. He lines up instead of behind the center, lines up behind the tackle and kind of flip him out into the flat. Incomplete. Nice play by the defensive back.
Lebanon now 2 wideouts to the far side. That is Zachary and C. And back to throws Pitt. Got some time. Pitt now being pressured. Coming to the near side. Going to tuck it and run. Get out of bounds as he crosses a 30. Down at the 28. Near the 27-yard line. It will bring up 3rd down and about 5 on the play.
And more importantly, that clock is stopped. So with Pitt going out of bounds, we've got 2 chances now to pick up that first down yardage and to keep this drive alive.
3rd down and actually 3rd and 4. Not quite 3rd and 5. call it 3rd and 4. Carson now split wide to the right along with Zachary, and they bring C to the near side. And this is the first time we've seen this formation tonight. And Pitt back to throw. Batted down. Going for Carson on the hot one. And batted down at the line of scrimmage. Getting a hand up there and making a great play is Wes Andrews. And he just saw that one coming, Tommy. Went way up in the air and batted it down with both hands.
Chris Stafford's got a one-on-one block on the defensive end on that play. Chris couldn't hit him low enough. If you get a guy down around the knees, you're going to take his hands down because you're going to take his feet out from under him. Chris kind of went head-to-head with him, and Andrews able to elevate and knock the pass down.
4th and 4. Now everybody is out. No running backs. And Pitt will make the call, and Pitt drops straight back. Got a little protection. Fires over the middle. Here's Ron C. Caught and then dropped at the 2-yard line. And the ball will go over. 52 seconds left in the half. So Lebanon, as it turns out, had plenty of time. But, boy, that one looked good. C was just hit and couldn't hold it.
Well, if you folks will remember last week when they ran Ron on the Miami screen out of this no-back set, they ran him down the line of scrimmage, and he caught the ball for the big yardage. Well, they more or less faked that. They ran Ron toward the middle and then turned him upfield, up the hash mark. Damon hits him just as he's reaching the 2 or 3 yard line, but the tackle jarred the football loose. Now Oakland's going to have to take a timeout because they didn't get somebody on the field. So with 52 seconds to play in the first half, Lebanon leads 6-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Does Lebanon seem just a little bit flat out here tonight?
Tommy, I was just thinking, last week against Gallatin, Ron C. would have caught that ball. It was a game of big plays, and we had our big plays last week, and we took advantage of every situation. This week, it's wet out here. It's a little cold. This is Murfreesboro, Oakland. This is a team that is 2-7 coming into tonight's game. We are sure to playoff win, so the Blue Devils are out here, and I just don't think they're playing with that same emotional high they played with last week.
And we're only leading 6-0 on that scoreboard, and that is kind of scary when you think about it. Back to throw is Marcellus, intercepted by Lebanon. Tressler picked it off. He hit Michello up at the 38, and Tressler's diving and picks it up at the 41-yard line. So Lebanon with an interception will have 43 seconds to work, and they still might get something going here before halftime.
Well, great job. Oakland tries to run the reverse pass. They had counts out in the route, but the pass was tipped, and here comes Tressler up to make the scooping catch for the interception. Nice job by Todd Tressler.
All right, Lebanon will have it 1st and 10 at the Oakland 41. And back to throw. C is open for a moment. And can they get it to him? It is intercepted inside the 10 at the 6-yard line. And back there to make the interception is Jason Wilkinson. And Wilkinson, Ron C. had to turn into a defensive back then and couldn't knock it free, but did make the tackle as Wilkinson makes the interception. So they turn it over quickly, but we did gain some yardage out of it.
Well, Lebanon ran the hitch fade. We faked the hitch to Ron, pump it to him. Damon just lobs the ball back toward a spot near the sideline. Ron runs toward it. The ball thrown more toward the middle of the field and toward the sideline. Wilkinson able to make the play for the interception.
And Counts will come under center again, and this time give it to Emerson Williams, his big fullback, and he's out over the 5, the 10, the 15, 20, out over the 25 to the 30, the 32-yard line, but a legal procedure is going to bring that one back and cost the Patriots half the distance. And that's the best-looking play they've had from the line of scrimmage tonight on the run as they barrel that big fullback out of there. And he's a pretty good-sized guy, 5'10", 220, and is averaging about, he's don't have his yards per carry average down here, but he's averaging about 16.2 per catch, and that time he showed that he can run the football.
Well, and Oakland has shown in a couple of situations they have the ability to run the football. I don't know that they've got the desire to run the football. They don't line up in the traditional quarterback under center type formation very much. They prefer to stay in that shotgun to give Counts a chance to throw the football. That's going to be the end of the first period. That's going to end it right there as Oakland won't even come out of the huddle. Lebanon and Oakland in a somewhat lackluster first half. The Blue Devils lead the Patriots by a score of 6-0, and we'll be back and start up on our halftime show after this 2-minute timeout.
Halftime here, Lebanon leading 6-0. We'd like to take this opportunity to mention our fine sponsors again for the video replay. Face and Hooker, First Bank and Trust, First Insurance Group, First United Methodist Church, J.R. Hobbs Realty, K.O. Lester Cash and Carry, Lebanon Cablevision, Permapipe Division of Midwestco, Piggly Wiggly, Rochelle McCullough and Alls, Square One Express and Hallmark Drive-Thru, TRW, and Women's Health Center. We'll be back in just a moment with the second half kickoff.
The second half fired up after I'm sure Coach Dillard and staff gave them a good talking to at halftime. Only up 6-0, really could have been up a couple of touchdowns.
And Oakland will kick it away. Standing deep for Lebanon High School is Kyle Zachary, and here with the second half call is Clyde Harville.
And here's the kick, long and deep. It's going to come to Zachary, and he's going to catch it at the 8, back to the 10. Zachary coming to the near side of the 15, slides outside 20, 25, still on his feet, still trying to stay in bounds. Crosses the 30 out to the 35, but they say he stepped out back at the 20 or the 29-yard line is where they're going to give him. But Zachary trying to tightrope down that sideline and almost made a great gain. It was a good return, but it almost was a great return.
Well, Zachary's got some quickness back there, and he's got some guts, too, and that's what you've got to have to be a return man.
All right, they'll put it to the 28-yard line. Blue Devils will take over at their own 28, 1st and 10 for the Blue. Wide out to the near side is C. Zachary is in the Scott Pitts. In the slot, they give it to Stafford, and Stafford's over the 30, shakes a tackle, still on his feet, drives to the 35, but a flag is down in the secondary. Hold on to your horses, and let's see. It might be holding again on the Blue Devils.
Well, that's what it looks like. They threw it at Elliott Carson's feet. Elliott had a one-on-one block, and here comes the indication from the officials, and that will be the call. The mark-off against Lebanon will be holding.
So a 6-yard gain or a 7-yard gain by Stafford on a good run is going to be nullified, and they'll walk it off from the 35, and it's going to bring it all the way back to the 25-yard line, and it'll be first down and 13 from that point. Actually, first and 14. First down, 14, Lebanon at their own 25-yard line. Again, they split C to the near side. Zachary in the slot. They pitch it to Stafford. Stafford needs a block. Got one. Gets hit at the 30. Driven back and stays on his feet. Second effort pushes him over the 30 to the 31-yard line. A gain of about 5 by Stafford again. As he moves it out to the 31-yard line, it'll bring up second down now and 7 for the Blue Devils. 2nd and 7 for Lebanon at their own 31-yard line after a holding penalty set them back to the 25. Here come the Blue out of the huddle and up to the line. Pitt will make the call. Same formation for Lebanon. They shoot a linebacker and they fire it out to Ron C. He's got it at the 35 and then drug back, but they'll give him forward progress to the 35-yard line. A gain of about 3 on the play. It will bring up third down and 3 for the Blue Devils. Well, Tommy Bryan's got a wild one for us here. Tommy, I'll let you tell him.
Yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, folks, but Soddy Daisy beat Red Bank 14-7 tonight at Soddy Daisy, and so now Lebanon, if we hang on and win, will travel to Red Bank next week.
Stafford slides outside, got some room. Stafford 40, 45, 50, and drug down at the Oakland 45-yard line, maybe the 44, but again a flag is down back at the Lebanon 35-yard line, and again they'll bring this one back. A great run by Stafford all the way from the 35 to the 45 of Oakland, but they're going to bring it back. And I think, again, they're going to catch Lebanon holding, and somebody must be trying to warm their hands down there tonight.
They must have a handful of somebody else's jersey. John, any indication from the officials as to who that call goes against?